What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, oh, we come alive. We come alive. Oh, we come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, 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 we come alive. Yeah, we come alive. Oh, 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 we come alive. We come alive.
Okay, I know I'm going live a little bit earlier than I planned for. I was sitting over here and I was just like, let's do it now because Heidi is going live very soon. And I really think that, we all should hear what she has to say. So, the topic that I'm talking about is important. Maybe not as important as what Heidi is probably going to talk about, because Miss Black over there does talk about a lot of important topics. So I decided to go live now and get it over with. Now, my news feed has been popping off all most of the day, and I think it's a sign. Now, this has to deal with the Roe versus Wade, okay? But this is not from a this is not from a woman's point of view. This is the initiative a lot of men are now taking since Roe versus Wade was overturned, which I think for once, men are actually being adults and taking initiative rather than having the woman do the procedure. Men are actually doing it themselves, which I think is really, really, really good. Snipped in solidarity, the American men getting vasectomies after Roe while they can. Now I'm going to read the article and we're going to go from here. Shaw never really wanted children. A 32-year-old software engineer and amateur weightlifter living in Central Florida. He had long contemplated a vasectomy. When he met his fiancee and learned that she also held no grand designs on reproduction, the matter was all but settled. He was, by his estimate, 90%. The Supreme Court's recent ruling overturning of Roe v. Wade and the nationwide convulsions over abortion access was the final push he and his partner needed. When he read that Justice Clarence Thomas mentioned in his opinion concurring with the controversial ruling that the court should reconsider access to contraception, Sean knew he had to move fast. Sean, who asked that his last name be withheld, booked surgery with a local urologist in Lutz, Florida, who has performed the procedure tens of thousands of times and is renowned in the region as the vasectomy king. From the consultations to the surgery itself, the ordeal was totally painless, Sean says. I can't lift weights or anything yet, he says 6 days into recovery, but I've had worse dental procedures. Sean is one of many American men seizing control of their own reproductive health as millions of American women are stripped of their right since the draft decision overturning Roe was leaked in May. Data collected by Interbody Research showed a huge increase in the number of daily web searches relating to vasectomy. Searches for where can I get a vasectomy swelled by 850%. Related queries, how much is a vasectomy and is a vasectomy irreversible, also exploded. There is a definite uptick in men exploring vasectomies, said Dr. Alex, I can't pronounce his last name, a New York City urologist. The Supreme Court decision has prompted a lot of conversation about contraception in general, as well as raising the awareness about vasectomy as an effective, low cost, safe, and permanent method of contraception that gives men control over their procreation. Dr. Alex says that in the week since the landmark decision, his Midtown Manhattan office has seen a marked increase in vasectomy related inquiries. On a normal week, he'd average about 15 consultation calls. In the last week of June, after the 24th June decision, he fielded 72 requests. The increase is also visible in red states. Interbody's original Google search data showed that the most vasectomy related queries were coming from Texas, where a 1925 vintage pre-Roe abortion ban was restored on the 1st of July. Barbara Nielsen, a spokesperson with the Urologic Institute in Idaho, where a trigger law banning abortions will soon take effect, confirms that its offices have seen 60% more vasectomy consultations in the past month. Men are upping their game a little bit, Nielsen says. In fact, in the first couple weeks after the Dobbs decision, we did see a definite uptick in calls, and I know other area urologists did as well. Once perceived as a drastic and irreversible vasectomy, surgeries are now simple, routine, and relatively painless. Urologists advertise no needle, no scalpel procedures. A small hole. Okay, you know what? I can't even do that. Blah 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 blah. That's a little bit. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a dude. Okay, I can't. I'm not having that visual in my head. No, I'm not having that visual. The procedure is completed in about a half an hour, usually in a doctor's office. Most men report the only real pain as the initial anesthetic needle to the region. And crucially, vasectomies are now a bit easier to undo. Though Dr. Alex is quick to note that this doesn't necessarily mean that men should take the decision to compromise even semi permanently their reproductive abilities lightly. Vasectomy reversal operations are pricey, usually costing about $10,000, with success rates that decrease substantially as time since the vasectomy elapses. Despite practicing in New York, where abortion remains legal, Dr. Alex says his calendar has been filling with men coming from out of state. I have had some patients express concerns to me, he says. They live part time in a state where they may have difficulty accessing abortion services, or their partners may have difficulty accessing abortion services. And that certainly has contributed to the complex decisions that men and their partners make about contraceptions. Ian Little, a 40-year-old banker living in Philadelphia, had to call a half dozen urologists before finally booking his surgery. It's been a long process, he said. Little had always been fairly certain that children weren't part of his life plan. For years, his wife agreed. Now, recently divorced and dipping his toe back into the dating pool, he felt it was an appropriate time to seriously consider a vasectomy. Then the Roe thing happened, Little said. That cemented it. That was the stars aligning. This needs to be done. His surgery is booked for next week. Sean's reasoning is similarly practical. He worried that broader bans on contraceptions could follow in the wake of the Dobbs decision. To be really honest, he says, I'm a straight white dude in America. Typically, I'm the least worried about these things, but they might come for that one. So I was like, I'm just going to get this done while I can. Now I'm not going to read the whole article. I will put it down in the description at the end of the video, but I want to say this. There are men that are taking the initiative. And for Clarence Thomas, I think it's a slap in his damn face because I don't think he actually thought yeah, Brittany Barnes. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. But I think this was a slap in Clarence's face. It's a slap in in pro-lifers' faces because men are taking the initiative. For decades, women have been trying to get men to become more proactive with their reproduction. And, it's sad that women's rights had to be the catalyst for it. And I'm saying that. It's sad that they had to be a catalyst for it. I think in the long run, it's a good thing. It is. Because for the first time in history, we are actually seeing men taking control and going, well, we don't want kids, but I don't want you to have the surgery. I'll do it for you. I'll do it. And there are ways that you can change your mind. You can, donate your sperm and hold on to it, and when you're ready to have kids with somebody, at least you have a vial of your sperm, ready to go. But I take this as a win for women too. Not the win that I was hoping for, mind you, because I think Wade versus Roe should actually be reinstated as a toll. I think it should be reinstated. But this is a win for women who have men out there willing to go, okay, look, we don't want kids, I'll do it. You got men actually being adults. We have men actually going, you know, hey, we can do this. So I think in a way that, you can agree to disagree, but, I think this is, it's not even that, Shyla. It's not even that. Roe versus Wade needs to be reinstated. But at the same time, you've got men out there going, okay, I'm going to snip to protect women. It's not really a consolation prize. It's not. But at least you've got men out there. At least you've got adult men out there taking the initiative for once. And it's like, in my point of view, nothing can compare with the women's right to choose. But at the same time, it's amazing that for the first time in history, we have adult men actually going to get the snip instead of saying, hey, they're getting rid of contraceptives. You need to go and get your tubes tied. Because if y'all remember, that was not too long ago. Remember? Remember if you were a woman and you told a man you need to get the snip? The man was like, I ain't going to snip my junk. You can go get your tubes tied. I think it's a step in the right direction when men are actually taking control. They're going, you know what? They might come for me next. They might tell me I won't be able to get the snip. And he's right. He's not too far-fetched. Men could wake up tomorrow. What was that, Shyla? Hold on here. Let me look. Well, Sean is in a relationship. Okay. I don't know why other people are doing it, but Sean is already in a relationship. He's already, got a partner. The bookkeeper is, I think, or I forgot what he was, but he's also looking into the dating pool. So I mean, if you're in a dedicated relationship and neither of you want children, I'm looking at that point of view right now. I really don't want to look at the darker point of view, Shyla. Don't make me go down to the dark route because I already had a dark thought earlier. And we don't want me to repeat that one. That one I'll leave alone because that thought scared the shit out of me. But if you're in a committed relationship and neither one of you want children, you know what? Get the snip snip. Get the snip snip. Now, this goes hand in hand with something else. Okay? And I want to point this out because you know what? We all know that I'm a very low baller, okay? But Mr. Piglet, maybe if you had to snip snip when you were 20, you wouldn't have all these problems that you do now. So, Mr. Piglet, you might want to think about the snip snip. Just friendly advice, Mr. Piggy. Snip snip. Mm-hmm. There you go. Hey, Cancel. At least that's my opinion, Mr. Piglet. That's all I'm going to say to you, Mr. Piglet. Hey, Violet. Ugh, Violet. Oh, my God. That's horrible. But I thought tonight I would actually touch in on this topic because, like I said, stuff like this has been popping off on my newsfeed, and this is worth talking about. This is. It is nice to know that there are men out there who will take the initiative and take responsibility and accountability. But I will reiterate, nothing will ever take away the woman's right to choose. And I will stand by that. But we all know I'm not a woman. I cannot comment on Roe versus Wade. But I can comment on stuff like this. Oh my God. Oh, Violet, I don't need that. No, I don't need that visual either. No, I don't need that visual either. No. Oh, now y'all just trying to torture me. Hey, Cottage. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll leave the links down below. Before I end this, I will also do this too. For the people who don't know who JY is, he's a racist, let's see here, sexist, misogynistic. He's a pig. He's disgusting. He needs off of YouTube, and there is the link for that. But I will put the links of these in the description if you all want to read them. You all have a great night. I am going to head over to Heidi Black's channel because she is going live. And I shall see you all soon. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being my wonderful subscribers. You all have a great evening.